Hey, Uncle Mark in the mothership. 3-string cigar box guitar. Yeah. This is part 2. Ain't wasting time no more. This is the slide parts. If you haven't seen part 1, please go through part 1 because I'm not going to go over all of that again. There's a couple of things I am going to go over, and that is that the song is in the key of B. B is here. Okay, and A is here. So I have a 3-string cigar box guitar, G, D, G. So it's a 42, 34, 24. Okay, these are wound electric guitar strings. Okay, I buy them individually. You can get them from Stringjoy or many other places, but that's what I use, buy individual strings. So 42, 34, 24, G, D, G. In this lesson, we're just going to play on that first G string right here. So this G string, right? Just the first string. We're not going to focus on anything else, just that first string, okay? And if you know any of my lessons, you know I like to map out where I'm going to go with the slide before I get there. So the intro. So I have a little loop going, and the chord shapes are so. Right? So, or B and A. And that's the whole jam. That's all we're going to work with is this B and A thing. So it looks like a. Okay, so it's just a B and an A. And this is more for advanced players. I assume that you've seen the first lesson. So I'm going to map out what I want to do for the intro. And it starts here. Those two notes. So it starts out 10, 11. Okay, and then goes up here to B. Okay, and the reason I know that's a B is because G at the two dots, G, G sharp, A, B flat, B. So that's how I remember it. So I look down here and I go, okay, I'm one above this dot, and I go. Okay, so that's my map for my intro. So here I go. Now, how I play that with the slide. So when I want this note, I want to be on. See where my slide is? It's right there, and you can see the right through. I'm on the fret. As opposed to being in between them, I'm on it. Now, I believe, personally, that if you're coming up with your slide and you're coming up to that note right there, so you're... By coming up to it, you can hear it better. And playing slide is about listening as well as looking. So it's a two-part phase thing where you gotta listen with your ears and you gotta look at the same time. And I like being a little bit higher in pitch than lower in pitch when it comes to grabbing notes. Okay, so fooling around with your slide. So, so that's a little digression into slide, but here we go. So we're going from 10 to 11. Okay, to the B. All right, that's the intro. So it's here, then, and then you grab all the notes, okay, and you start the song. So I'll do that again in real time. So here we go. Last Sunday morning, the sunshine. Okay, felt like rain. We know the song. Okay, so jamming on this. There are notes that are allowed and there are notes that are not allowed. And finding that is really about training your ear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way up from G, A, B flat, and work my way up, and we're going to find out what notes are allowed. That's bad. Those notes work, so G sharp and A. We know B works, it's the key of the song. This is how I figure this out. Okay, so I've got two patterns. One pattern is G sharp, A, B, and the next pattern is B, C sharp, and D. Okay? So it is 1, 2, 4, and 4, 6, 7. So let's fool around with those two patterns. So what's really fun about these two patterns is they work concurrently together. So you can go up and down and back and forth. Turn my volume down a touch. You can go up and down and back and forth, or just play with this A or a B, A, B, A, B, A, B. And you can stay within that. You can and remember, you can do big leaps here. You can so you don't have to go in concurrent in a chromatic way. You can go from here to here. Chromatically is just working through all the notes up to the spaces you want to get to. Okay, that's what chromatic means. You're kind of moving through all of them. So we know those work. We know these work. E. Let's see if E works, because E is right there on that note, and we know this. Ooh, that works so nicely coming back to that D sharp. So knowing the way this chord shape works, okay, so we went through this chord shape, F sharp, and that is a B, and that is a D sharp. Those notes work, so we know this works. So we've got lots of notes to work with. 1, 2, 3, first pattern. 1, 2, 3, first pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, first pattern. And then we start the patterns over. So this is the same as this. So now we have a whole range of work we can get done. So what I like to do is go pattern to pattern to pattern to pattern. Okay? When you design your solo, design it low to high to low. That's how a solo is designed. And once you start designing more solos, then you can start playing around with it and going from low to high and back to low and using dynamics and playing around with it. But when you're first designing your solos, that's what I would do. So let's start at the bottom. Let's go to the top, first section. Now we go to the second section. Third section. Third, fourth section. Fourth. Third. See what I'm saying? I'm moving through these sections. So first section, second section, third section, fourth section. And that's how I think of it. And then I start doing these wild swings back and forth where I am. That's how I solo through this stuff. Just remember to get the intro right. That's really important. That's the important thing. That's an iconic riff. So if you get the intro right and then you end up fooling around and using some of these patterns, that's fantastic. That's what I would do with it, and I would fool around with this thing for 20 minutes at a time. Just lay down a loop of A or a B to A and back and forth, or find on YouTube a link to a back and forth A, B to A, or just listen to the album. You can do that. You can play along with the record. The song is in B. So anyway, this is awesome. And this is Uncle Mark in the Mothership. This is the new Mothership. And we asked for $1 a show. It helps keep the lights on. I still need a floor in here. I've got bare wood, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And I haven't decided what kind of a floor I'm going to put in. But, you know, that's what we're looking for here is $1 a show. I have a PayPal link down below in the show notes. It's a paypal.me/Uncle Mark Tips. I really appreciate everything you guys do for me, you guys and gals. It's really appreciated. Thank you so much for everything. Really, I appreciate it. Click that link. It's easy. It goes right through to PayPal. It helps me out here. It helps us to keep the lights on and keep the stuff going on in here. Still got a little bit of work to do. Thank you so much. Sharing on social media. Sharing on Instagram. I've recently become a fan of Instagram. It's really helping me out. So thank you so much. You can share links through that, I assume. I'm kind of an old school guy, so I'm kind of learning. But thank you so much for everything you do for me, subscriptions, all of that. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.